If you're traveling across Europe and working remotely, the number one thing on your mind is probably, how do I stay connected? Whether you parked up in the city or like us, deep in the mountains, access to reliable internet can be tricky. For the past 2 years, we relied on SIM cards for the internet across Europe. But the experience was often frustrating: patchy coverage, slow speeds, and constant searching for stable connection. Starlink changed that for us. With the satellite coverage, we now can park anywhere, even in the remote locations like this one, Cantabria Mountains, where there is no phone signal, and we can still enjoy fast internet. If you work online, like us, Starlink provides the freedom to travel without worrying about the connectivity. While SIM cards are a good option for casual use, mobile coverage can be inconsistent, especially in rural areas, making it difficult to rely solely on SIM cards for the internet. Starlink, on the other hand, delivers consistent speeds regardless of the location. However, it's worth noticing that Starlink comes at higher cost and requires more power to run. That's why we use both: Starlink for reliable internet in remote areas and SIM cards as a backup to save power when solar energy is low. We power our Starlink setup with 260 amps leisure battery and a 300-watt solar panel. On sunny days, we can run Starlink all day while charging our devices. However, in winter or cloudy weather, it's more difficult to rely on solar panel. To save power during the low energy periods, we switch to SIM cards or use Starlink sleep mode, which turns off the device during the certain hours. The app is also useful for managing features like snow melt, which can be turned off to conserve electricity. If you usually park at the campgrounds, you likely won't have this issue since you have access to electricity. But for those living off-grid, managing power consumption is crucial. Setting up Starlink is straightforward. The dish connects through an app, and within 10 minutes you will be online. The app has a simple interface for adjusting settings, and the entire setup is quick and easy. We have modified our setup by attaching the Starlink dish to a pole on our bike rack for extra stability in the windy conditions. This has worked well for us, and the installation only takes about a minute. Keep in mind that Starlink is fairly large, so plan ahead for storage if you're on the road. We store it in our garage area, but I'm sure every setup will be different. For those who only need occasional internet for the browsing or streaming, SIM card can be the budget-friendly option. However, if you're working remotely and need fast, reliable internet every day, Starlink is a must. The combination of Starlink and a local SIM card gives us a flexibility. When solar power is low, we switch to the SIM card to save energy. It's a small investment, around €100 a month for both, but it ensures that we always have stable internet connection no matter where we go and no matter the weather. How much does Starlink cost? So there is an initial cost of the hardware, which is around €400, but you will need to check the website for the most up-to-date prices. But this usually includes the Starlink dish, router, the cables, but you probably will need to budget for additional mounting accessories if you want to secure it to your van. There is also a monthly subscription cost. We have a Roam Unlimited plan, and we initially paid €59 a month. However, as of today, the price has increased to €72 a month. And this increase reflects the new features added to our plan. So the first one being in-motion use. So now we can use Starlink while vehicle is moving, which is perfect for those constantly on the go. Then there is an international travel. You can now use Starlink across different countries without changing your plan. And there is this coastal coverage. So stronger connectivity, even near coastlines, ideal for those traveling along or over water. Latency generally ranges from 20 to 40 milliseconds, which is pretty good for satellite internet, and it is a bit higher than what you would get on a fiber or cable. But where we are right now, where we don't even have a phone signal, we're seeing 31 milliseconds of the latency. For things like video calls, Zoom meetings, or streaming, this latency is more than enough. We've been able to work without any issues, even in the remote areas. So it's definitely reliable for those kind of tasks. We haven't yet experienced extreme weather like we did before we had Starlink, so we can't say for sure how it would hold up in the severe storms. However, we have tested in the heavy rain and around 40 km/h winds, and it performed just fine, both when mounted on the pole and while using the stand. Starlink also has a snow melt feature that's useful in cold climates, as it prevents snow building up on a dish. Though keep in mind, this feature does increase power consumption. Yes, Starlink offers the option to pause your service, making it convenient for those seasonal travelers who don't need all year-round internet access. This can be done easily through the app with no reconnection fees. So how much do we end up paying for our internet each month? For our Roam Unlimited plan, we currently pay 70 euros a month. For the local SIM card, we have been using the SIM card for the last 2 years. It provides us with 400 gigabytes of data in Spain and 200 gigabytes data in other EU countries. That said, there is cheaper local SIM cards options available depending on a country. For example, when we spent 3 months in Italy, we bought a local SIM card from the corner shop for just 20 euros a month, and we had unlimited data. However, finding the local SIM card with good data plans can be a hassle, and we often don't have time or patience to research and switch plans every time we cross the border. That's why we stick with the plan we have. It's reliable and provides us with enough data across Europe. And this adds up to 111 euros a month for both. It might seem like a lot, but since we live on the road and don't have rent or utility bills, it's an expense we can justify. Having both Starlink and solid data plan ensures we are never offline.